I inherited everything my neighbor owned after she passed away, but now her daughter is demanding that I share the inheritance, even though she abandoned her mother for decades. I, 32, recently came into an inheritance when my neighbor and close friend, Valerie, 68, died. I met Valerie when I moved into my condo in 2018, and she became my next door neighbor. Our places are on the top floor and have almost connecting balconies. We used to spend every Saturday morning outside taking care of our plant babies and chatting. I had learned that Valerie had been a widow since she was 55. I got the impression that she had married young and never had a true chance to learn who she was until after Gary had died. I had always thought that Valerie was alone in the world. Turns out that Valerie had had one child, a daughter, Sam, 44. However, they had been estranged since the early 2000s. The story that Valerie told me was that Sam had come out as fruity when she was just out of high school. That did not sit well with Gary. He told Sam that she was no longer his daughter and kicked her out, telling her to never contact them or come home again. The whole situation broke Valerie's heart, and it was her biggest regret in life. She told me that she had always wished she had tried to fight for Sam, but in the moment she was so shocked that she watched the whole thing happen without saying a word. When I first heard that story, I asked if she had ever tried to reach out. Valerie told me that she hadn't because she didn't know how to even try. So I did some internet sleuthing and found Sam on Facebook. It turns out that Sam had managed to build a good life for herself. I helped Valerie draft a heartfelt message to Sam. Valerie apologized for everything and told Sam how much her perspectives had changed over the years. Valerie also asked if they could try and build a new relationship. We sent the message and saw that Sam had seen and maybe read the message, but Sam never responded. About a month ago, I got home from work to find Valerie passed away on her balcony. She had suffered an embolism. I sent the link to her obituary and memorial page to Sam. I didn't see Sam at the funeral. A lawyer is handling all of Valerie's affairs. I thought that I would simply grieve the loss of my friend and eventually would have a new neighbor. I never expected myself to be the only person who Valerie mentioned in her will, let alone to have been left everything. A few days ago, Sam messaged me. She was upset and demanded that I give her Valerie's things, claiming that I took advantage of an old widow. I was upset when I first read Sam's message and thought, who does she think she is? She hasn't spoken to Valerie in literal decades and never responded when Valerie tried to reach out. Now Valerie is her mother, and that entitles her to Valerie's stuff? Now I wonder if I should do something for Sam. I go back and forth if Valerie would want me to. Valerie knew where Sam was, so she could have included Sam somehow. The lawyer I talked to said that the inheritance is completely mine and that Sam has no claim, but should I give Sam something? Update. To clarify some questions that people had about the estate, it's currently in the formal probate process. Valerie was a legal secretary for a family law office, and the lawyer she worked with specialized in estate law. This is the lawyer who told me that everything is being done by the book, that everything will be fully settled in a few months, and that all of Valerie's wishes are being carried out to the letter. I do think that if Sam wants any sentimental items, she should have them because they might help her healing. I do want to be clear that the estate is not very big and is very simple. All that Valerie had was her condo and her car. That car was more valuable to her than it was on the market. It's a 2014 model of a daily driver. I hold the spare key to Valerie's condo and have been in to clear out the kitchen and to take care of her plant babies because I can't bear to see them die too. It's been really strange being in that space without her. I've been given permission to start cleaning out the condo, but not to get rid of anything. I'm going to spend this weekend going through her things and organizing them into boxes. I don't know what type of sentimental items that I'll find because Valerie doesn't have any family photos on display in her place. There are no photos of Sam and no photos of Gary, not even wedding photos. I can't speak to the Valerie who Sam knew. I do know that in her younger years, Valerie was an active member of the LDS church, but that she had stopped being religious by the time that I knew her. The Valerie who I knew was by no means a bigot. I knew her as a kind, loving, and accepting person. She knew that I was bi and never judged me for it. She has a pride flag hanging on her balcony, and she used to attend pride parades as one of those ally moms grandmas who would hug and be supportive to the LGBTQ+ youth who had no one. I knew her as someone who was trying to make amends with the universe. When I first heard the story about Sam, I was shocked because that just didn't line up with the Valerie that I knew. Valerie did have her own Facebook account and knew how to use it, but Sam was not easy to find. It took me a few months to track her down. We used Facebook Messenger because that was our only means of contacting Sam. The message was a 4 or 5 page letter where Valerie told Sam everything and completely shared her soul. Valerie only reached out once because Sam was so much like her father, and I don't want to push her or hurt her further by pestering. I've told her everything I can until she responds. The only direct communication that I've had with Sam was the Facebook messages I sent her about Valerie's death. I think that covered everyone's question.